Hello everyone and welcome to our gaming test of the new Xiaomi 12T. Yes, this is the non-Pro version. Now I know that the 12T Pro and non-Pro version looks pretty much identical, but I can assure you that there are some differences. For example, if you look at the camera bump here, it says 108 megapixel, and then the main camera sensor is also flat instead of having an extra camera bump. And then if we head into some apps like this device info HW, we can see that it is running the MediaTek Dimensity 8100 Max chipset. And this is also my first time encountering this chipset, so let's hit into the developers option to enable this option so that we can monitor the FPS, and then we'll jump straight into Genshin Impact at the highest graphical settings at 60 FPS to see how well it can run. Now, I should also mention that the game turbo got an upgrade so that we have an option to enable performance mode now, but I'm not gonna do that yet. So let's begin with the test. And as you can see, the FPS isn't exactly the most consistent. Yes, it can reach 60 FPS for most of the time, but during combat when things get a little bit more intense, then it drops to somewhere about 40 something, sometimes about 35-ish FPS range, which is wildly inconsistent. And since this frame rate is inconsistent, for us humans, we can see that the gameplay is a bit more jaggy. So I will enable performance right now, and then we'll jump back into the game and continue testing. So we can see that the frame rate is a lot more consistent now. It hovers around the high 50s. So mostly I can see it's at about 55 and above. It doesn't actually maintain at 60 FPS for all times, but I would say this is really good for what it has to offer. And then if we see the temperature of this device, I would say it's pretty much comparable with the 12T Pro and the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. So 38 degrees Celsius is the highest that I can see. Granted, I am in an air-conditioned room at 25 degrees Celsius, so for this kind of temperature on the device's surface, I would say it's good. And then jumping into PUBG Mobile, I would say this is real boring because at most we can go is HDR graphics at extreme frame rates, which is 60 FPS. And yeah, there's no 90 FPS option, so it's boring. So let's jump into PUBG New State instead. So in PUBG New State, we do have the option to enable 90 FPS, but unfortunately I forgot to record the game settings menu, but do believe me, it is selected in 90 FPS mode, but it only plays at the lowest graphical settings, but that's okay because shooter games frame rate is important. And then jumping into COD Mobile, this is a bit weird because the 12T Pro has the option to go 90 FPS, but for the 12T it doesn't have the option to go 90 FPS, so we're stuck with 60 FPS, and this is boring. So let's just speedrun through it. And for Mobile Legends, we do have the option to enable 120 FPS, which is called Ultra Frame Rate here, or Ultra Refresh Rate for that matter. And the gameplay is excellent.
Welcome to Mobile Legends! battlefield. Smash them! All troops deployed. Always keep your gun loaded. Come a little closer. Not one shot wasted. Focus. Shot. Nice try. An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Dead before they knew me. Enemy in range. And you are too. An enemy has been slain. One shot. You have been slain.
Okay, so that's it. That's all we have to share with you about the gaming experience of the Xiaomi 12T. All I have to say is that the Dimensity 8100 Max is actually a very good chipset, very competent for a what I would consider a mid-range smartphone. This is a bit higher than mid-range, but you get the idea. If you want to know more about the gaming performance of the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 on the Xiaomi 12T Pro, then check it out at the top right corner there. And for our review of that phone, also check it out at this end screen here. And for the review of the Xiaomi 12T, I will combine it with a sort of a comparison with the 12T Pro. So stay subscribed for that. It will be coming in the next few weeks. So do subscribe and we'll see you there. Goodbye.